it's coming your way right now. There's no more beautiful sight in all of sport than the college basketball bracket. And there's a look at the ASUN Championship. The quarterfinals being played tonight. 4 games tipping off at 7 o'clock as these teams work their way towards Sunday's championship. And with that, we welcome you inside Liberty Arena alongside Paul Naskin. I'm Matt Warner. And as we saw a thriller last night as Bellarmine eked one out over North Florida to keep their season alive. They played very well throughout that ball game, but what did they do against the Ospreys that they'll need to do again tonight to beat the Flames?
Yeah, it was certainly an exciting finish, but all night long, the Bellarmine team, man, they really defended. Yeah. They won the glass. You know, they ran patient, purposeful offense, and they just played all night with a great competitive resolve. If they can do that again, it's going to go down to the wire again tonight.
Now, for Liberty, you think of them as an elite three-point shooting team, which they are, one of the best in the country, but you feel like there's more to their game and what they need to do this evening to come away with a win.
Yeah, you better have more than threes. Liberty's great at it, but last night, North Florida made 14 threes and still lost. Yeah. So it's going to be shooting well, but that pack line defense has got to be on display. You got to really defend.
All right, let's take a look at our impact players presented by Foster Fuels. We begin with a guy that was huge off the bench last night, Ben Johnson.
He sure was. We got to highlight him after that 26-point performance last night. Unbelievable. He's been doing that all season for him, coming off the bench, providing spark. That 6 20-plus point games Johnson has, and he's also named the ASUN on the ASUN freshman team. They need a big evening out of him as well tonight.
And for Liberty, the 3-time ASUN Player of the Year, Darius McGee.
Yeah, let that sink in for a second. 3-time Player of the Year, but also this season he set the ASUN all-time scoring record. He became Liberty's all-time leading scorer, and he's second in the nation right now in threes made per game and total on the season. But Matt, I'm telling you, he's not thinking about any of that stuff. All he wants is to make another run to a championship.
Taking a look at the head coaches, Scott Davenport, in his 18th season at Bellarmine, led the Knights to the ASUN Championship 1 year ago, trying to do it again here this season. And on the other side, Richie McKay, 2-time ASUN Coach of the Year, 10th season overall for the Flames, and has led them to their 7th straight 20-win season this year. About set to get underway, folks still filing into Liberty Arena as these teams set to meet for the 3rd time this season. Liberty winning the first 2 handily. But fans of both sides remember well a game on this court in the ASUN Championship a year ago when Bellarmine ended Liberty's season in the ASUN semifinals. They look to do it again tonight. The Knights handle the basketball first.
And you're going to see this offense, you're going to see ball movement, you're going to see constant player movement. They do it so well. That's what leads to them getting great shots.
Last night winning 76-74. Justin Betts, the last second 3-ball. That one deflected out of bounds. Will stay with the Knights. Or the last second fade away, I should say, to knock it down. Got amazing. A little friendly roll.
Yeah, a little Kawhi Leonard bounce there on the rim. It hung, seemed like forever.
That was the biggest shot he's hit in his life, I believe it. Suter has to put one up late in the shot clock and a late whistle. The official nearest the play let him play on, but Todd Austin comes in from in front of us to blow the whistle and call the foul on Kyle Rowe. So that'll get Suter to the free throw line.
Yeah, I think it was the right call on the foul. It was really close with the shot clock.
Suter hits the first. He was critical for the Knights in the first half last night. They had some trouble offensively in the early going. He ended up scoring 11 in the first half and was a really big reason they were hanging around early on.
Yeah, a couple shots. The shots weren't falling. He just put it on the bounce and really got deep, some penetrations, and yeah, some good scoring. 9 in the first half for Suter. 11 overall in the second half, man. Ben Johnson just exploded.
So the Flames with the basketball. Obviously, you're always aware of number 2, Darius McGee. He's the guy that makes this offense go. Colin Porter, the freshman, drives, gives it up. Blake Preston takes it strong, up and over the backboard, and let's say that one goes out of bounds. So the Flames come up empty on their first possession. Liberty 24-7 on the year, finished 15-3 in ASUN play. The 2 seed in the conference as they lost the tiebreaker to Kennesaw State. Little turnaround jumper is pure for Garrett Tipton. Good start offensively for the Knights.
Yeah, great ball movement. Tipton really came across that baseline hard. Had space on the other side, makes it pay.
McGee pulls up, 3-ball off the mark, tapped, corralled, kicked out to Porter. He'll put it on the deck, get in the paint. Pump fake, gives it to Preston, who couldn't convert, but's able to draw the foul. Well, that's one thing, Naz, you talked about last night, and I'm sure you'll bring up again when we get to your keys in a moment, but rebounding is huge for the Knights.
Yeah, for sure. That time, again, Porter got really deep, but wise decision, gives it to Preston to get to the free throw line. But yeah, Bellarmine, they're a little bit undersized at times, but last night they did an incredible job on the glass. Won not only the overall rebounding battle, but had a lot more offensive rebounds themselves. They just really, that was a huge part of that win.
Yeah, Justin Betts talked about that after the ball games, and that's something was preached to us in the lead up to that one. We had to do well on the boards. They certainly did, as Preston gets both free throws to fall. Let's take a look at your keys of the game, Naz. How do you break this one down?
Well, I'm keeping Bellarmine's keys the same. Yeah. They worked for him. So you got to limit threes. Again, big part of Liberty's offense. And then rebounding. Again, two crucial things in this game that if Bellarmine can do them again, they may be on the winning side. And then for Liberty, you got to deny dribble penetration. Matt, we saw a lot of that in Bellarmine's success last night. Liberty's got to cut it off. And then limit turnovers.
Justin Betts knocking down that jumper. So Bellarmine has come out fire, knocked down their first 2 shots from the field, also a couple of free throws. Offensively, a team that just keeps that pressure on you. Oh my! The lob up top, and Blake Preston hammers it home.
Yeah, great play, nice alley-oop, soft touch, but man, there's no time to celebrate. Bellarmine gets that ball inbounds and up the court so quickly.
Blake Preston has not played a lot in the 2 previous meetings with Bellarmine. In fact, that first game in conference play, he only played a little over 4 minutes. Already making a big impact here tonight, though.
Yeah, and I think Hatton, being in the starting lineup, getting more minutes. Coach McKay can match size.
Betts wasn't paying attention to that shot clock, had to throw one up. The Flames get a defensive stop. McGee now in trouble, fortunate to get it back to Van Zandt.
Yeah, good recovery by Bellarmine. Got a little hung up on the screen, but they switched it. Darius just had to dish it off in midair.
Preston, good find. Porter now weaving his way under the hoop. Takes it into traffic. Up, off the window, bucket in the foul.
Wow. Porter was inside, he was outside, he was back inside. Man, he kept that dribble alive, kept those eyes moving, found a lane. Great finish by Colin Porter.
We have seen the freshman Colin Porter get more and more confident scoring the basketball of late. As you take another look at that basket, the foul going against Freem. Porter, he had 7 double-digit scoring games in his first 15 contests. Or no, take it back, 7 in the last 15, 1 in the first 16. So in conference play, that offensive game has really started to grow.
Yeah, we just saw him grow up, develop his skills and his confidence.
Freem got the smaller Porter on him down near the hoop, was able to lay it in for his first 2.
Yeah, Porter went straight up, and the help was coming. It just came a little bit too late. Preston couldn't quite get there for the block.
Kyle Rode hands it off and gets it right back. Rode had his season high in that first meeting with Bellarmine this season. 8 on the shot clock. Porter trying to create some space and able to draw a foul again. So one thing the Flames have been able to do here early on, draw a little contact and get that whistle. That one goes against Suter.
Yeah, the ball's moving. They're keeping that dribble alive. We've seen a few different guys guard Darius McGee, so they're going to probably just try to throw different looks at him all night long. It's been Betts sometimes. That time it was Freem. Again, if you take that, it spread Darius, spreads the defense out a little bit. That's opening lanes up for penetration, Colin Porter.
Kyle Rode inbounds it to Shiloh Robinson, who just checked into the ball game. McGee trying to free himself, gets by Betts, and boy, getting clotheslined was Van Zandt. He took it right in the chops from Garrett Tipton.
Again, Darius, everybody sort of, all eyes went to him. Nice baseline cut by Van Zandt.
So already 4 team fouls on Bellarmine. We're not even 4 minutes into this game.
Yeah, Liberty's really putting pressure on the Knights with their penetration.
McGee frees himself in the corner, rises up and knocks it down. His first triple of the ball game.
The net gets hung up. Matt, I told you that net looked long.
You did. You mentioned that last night.
I hope it doesn't.
Somebody out there to measure that net. Blake Preston with the fast start for Liberty. He has 4 early, and the Flames lead it by 2.
The ASUN tournament continues here at Liberty Arena with Bellarmine and Liberty taking on each other in the quarterfinals. We all know how much of a grind basketball season is, but this Bellarmine team has taken that to a completely different level this season. We've mentioned before 6 surgeries, 2 of those career-ending, not to mention this is the Knights' 4th game in 7 days. One matchup was at a neutral site, the rest on the road. You could just see the exhaustion on the player's face after winning that battle over UNF last night. But Coach Davenport did admit that Liberty has been pretty good hosts, letting us take those ice baths to recover last night. But guys, these programs have so much respect for each other. We've heard Davenport say it a number of times. There's basketball teams with culture, and then there's basketball programs. Tonight, 2 basketball programs will play. This will be a war, and as Matt said at the top of the broadcast, this Bellarmine team may or may not have been reminded about what the Knights did on this floor in the postseason last year.
Yeah, that was the upset of the tourney a year ago. Bellarmine beating Liberty 53-50 to end their season. Having said that, only 7 Bellarmine points from that game were scored by current players right now. So that was a different crew, certainly a veteran squad last year that saw some other guys rise to the occasion. A different look this season, but they've still got some veteran guys that can make big shots. There's one right there in Justin Betts.
That's right. Betts was part of that one last year, and I think that's his new favorite shot.
He likes the fadeaway.
Little fadeaway, 10-footer. What a huge shot.
Oh, Scott Davenport said, build a statue of that young man. McGee, backdoor cut, lays it in for an easy deuce. Remember, Darius McGee in Liberty's last regular season game went scoreless in the first half against Queens. Liberty really struggled on the offensive end in that first half. So far tonight, that hasn't been an issue. That foul a moment ago going on Colin Porter, his first. He'll have a seat as Vincent checks back in. And now Bellarmine, 4 of 5 from the field. Liberty 4 of 6. Still waiting for the defenses to arrive. It's been elite offense thus far. That one stolen and taken away. Warfield got his hands on it.
Yeah, Darius was just running by, stuck his mid out
from the logo. McGee, he is feeling it.
That literally was from the beak of the eagle right there at midcourt.
How do you guard that? 7, make it 8 points now for McGee. Betts on the wing, 12 on the shot clock, trying to drive on Darius. Had it poked away and stolen. McGee on the move. Fading away, 3-ball, unbelievable!
That was unreal. He had Freem right in his face. Did not matter.
Darius McGee has come to play. 11 points, we're not even 6 minutes into the ball game.
Look at this one. Everybody's retreating. Yeah, he literally was
from the beak. And then a contested 3, hand in his face. It didn't matter.
Yeah,
when you 3-peat as a conference player of the year, you can do what you want, and that's what he's doing so far tonight.
They're not just handing out those Player of the Year awards. I mean, unbelievable. But, he's feeling it. Both teams really are shooting well. Clean game so far. I mean, this is everything you want in a tournament game.
So that is part of what makes Liberty so scared. We talk about the 3-point shooting, and the issue is at times it comes in spurts.
Yes, the
runs.
It
comes fast.
The kill shots, as we say, the 10-0 runs. And
they're on an 8-0 run right now over the last minute. This Bellarmine team, though, we saw it last night against North Florida. There's no panic in this bunch.
They will not be rattled.
Quit in this bunch. And part of the reason is you've got shooters like Johnson, who was just off the mark there, and other veteran guards around him.
Yeah, that looked really good, that one from Johnson. Man, he just came alive second half last night.
Kyle Road, hands off. McGee got free. Does he have another one? Yep. The friendly roll.
And he came across that sweep cut, and nobody was in 10 feet of him.
He said, listen, Justin, if you can get those rolls last night, I can get one tonight.
My house.
14 already for McGee. Tipton on the wing, guarded by the taller Shiloh Robinson. Pulls up in the lane, pretty move to free himself.
Yeah, again, Tipton playing the 4 has a little bit of an advantage quickness-wise. He's got a really great handle. That time gets himself to 10 for the nice jumper.
Kyle Road kicks it out. Robinson swings it. Vincent driving hard. They swing it to Road. He thought about the 3, gives it back to Shiloh Robinson. Pump fakes, block.
Oh,
great job by Suter, sticking with it, getting the block, throwing it off Kyle Road then to save the possession, and then he goes stumbling into the photographers.
Yeah, I was hoping he didn't hit that first step back there.
What an effort.
Man, they were just everywhere. You know, you just see the last block right there, but
I tell you, I have been so impressed with Peter Suter here these last 2 days. He was fantastic last night in the win over UNF.
Yeah.
Good so far tonight. And a young kid, just a freshman.
Yes, I was just going to say. Suter had the first half, Johnson in the second half. Those guys both on the all-freshman team.
Yeah. Program in good hands.
Yes, for sure.
Johnson has it now. Gives it up. Betts gives it right back to him. Going the post now. Hof working on the freshman, Zach Cleveland. Works his way around him. Bucket and the foul. Kurt Hof, the sophomore out of Indiana, with a strong take, and he'll get himself to the free throw line. And is Zach Cleveland okay?
Yeah, I think if he took an elbow, I think as Hof's arm was coming down after the shot. Yeah, he got hit in the mouth, I think.
Yeah, so he's bleeding, getting checked out by Liberty trainer Aaron Schreiner. So he will check out of the ball game. Keep an eye on his status. Making sure he's still got all the teeth he came to the arena with.
Yeah, I think it was inadvertent. It was after the shot. Hof's arms were up in the air and on his way down.
That one deflected out of bounds. They say it'll stay with Bellarmine. Liberty leading by 7. The Flames have made their last 7 shots from the field. That's on the wing. Gets in the paint, now looking to kick out. Suter now, 6 on the shot clock, gonna have to go to work. Trying to free himself, kicks it out, throws it into the second row. Great defensive possession from the Flames.
Yeah, if you're Liberty, when Bellarmine gets that penetration, those guys do such a good job of jump stopping, using the pivot, using ball fakes, pump fakes. You got to stay grounded. You got to stay in great position. And Liberty did that. They get the turnover.
Isaiah Warfield brings the basketball up for the Flames. Liberty, so much of what they do about trying to free up Darius McGee. Robinson nearly had it taken away, now in the hands of McGee. 10 on the shot clock. Darius trying to get free, pulls up. Why not? Why not?
My goodness.
Looks up at that Liberty crowd. He's enjoying every moment of this. He's got 17.
And Betts was right with him, dribble for dribble.
Tipton trying to answer, lowers the shoulder, and an offensive foul. That's number 2 on Tipton.
Zay Warfield, we've said it all season. Guy just hustles his tail off, beat him to the spot, gets the charge.
It's been the Darius McGee show thus far. 17 points already, 11:30 to go in the first half. Every team comes in with one thing in mind. How can we slow down Darius McGee? There's only so much you can do. He has come out absolutely on fire, showing you some range, but also hitting some tough shots with a hand in his face, Ness.
Yeah, I think if we talk over it, it'll just ruin the moment. I mean, look at these, watching these clips. It's really unbelievable. I mean, he's hit some open ones. He hit that one from almost center court. He's hit him with guys in his face. I mean, you can just tell he's locked in.
510 threes now, second most in the history of college basketball. Just an incredible career. And with more on Darius, we check in with Emily.
Yeah, I asked him about his sharp shooting. He said the core of the chaos started young when he was playing 21 in the backyard. It's every man for themselves at times, so it's 1-on-4, so you have to find different ways to score the basketball. And then he just practiced and fine-tuned those shots over time. If you ask Coach McKay, though, he'll say, oh, he's just been watching my tapes. But Darius, his response, no one has seen these tapes. No one has a VCR anymore.
Oh,
shots fired.
Ouch.
Yeah. Well, I'll tell you, we see Darius McGee during warm-ups and practice. A lot of these shots that you see him make that seem just crazy and in the moment, he practices.
Yes.
So it's whether off balance. We've seen him practice with his left hand. He's hit some, including against Bellarmine earlier this year with his left hand.
Opposite hand or extra arc on it. He just changes his shot and practices every which way you can.
Oh, he threw a dime to Brody Peebles. Just unable to catch it. Goes out of bounds. A turnover gives it back to Bellarmine. Liberty leading by 10. Still so long to go in this game, but if you're Bellarmine, you need to stay within shouting distance. You can't dig too deep of a hole here in the first half.
Again, always impressed with the ball movement, with the cutting.
So little dribbling in this offense.
Yeah, they kind of put the defense at a disadvantage. You got to always be adjusting.
Rising up over Peebles. There's the first bucket of the night for Ben Johnson.
Yeah, we saw him hit a couple of those last night. Great penetration to a deep spot in the paint, and then kind of a nice little one hand. Last night we saw a little bit of kind of a baby hook.
Yeah, just a great offensive feel for Ben Johnson. So Darius McGee on the bench now. Where will Liberty go for a little offense? There's a foul call as Shiloh Robinson took it strong.
Yeah, I like that. He had the big fella Hatton way out away from the basket. Shiloh uses the advantage off the dribble and gets the foul.
Yeah, that's number 2 on Hatton. So already Hatton with 2, Tipton with 2. And Liberty will shoot free throws the rest of the way here in the first half.
Yeah, they still got Hof in there for a little bit of size, but Preston outweighs them by a good amount. Let's see if they get Blake some touches.
Blake setting the screen. Porter spots up. Open look from 3. That's off the mark. The rebound grabbed by Johnson. Suter working on Kyle Rode. Bodies him. Goes up strong. Couldn't connect.
Yeah, one thing about Bellarmine when they're in the smaller lineup, they've really got 5 guys that are interchangeable. So offensively, they can move around. Defensively, they can switch everything.
Kyle Rode gives it back to Porter. Gonna launch another one. That one rims off.
Look good. I like that he's taking them.
Flames come up empty here on a few possessions. Can Bellarmine climb their way back? Yep, that'll help.
Yeah.
3 ball from Alec Freem.
Big shot by Freem. And again, that's what you get kind of with the smaller lineup. You get all 5 guys that are 3-point threats. Freem hits a big one.
And Liberty lead, trimmed down to 5. They're looking in the post and too tall. You've seen a couple of turnovers, a couple of threes that don't go down, and all of a sudden, Liberty's gone quiet here the last 2.5 minutes. And that's the thing with this Bellarmine team.
Yes.
You touched on it last night. If you let up just for a moment, they're not quitting.
Yes,
they're not slowing
They
down.
will methodically just dig their way back into the game, or they'll just stay in a game. Great resolve.
McGee back in for Liberty now after they've had some trouble scoring the basketball.
Oh, that was a deep one by Johnson. But he's got that kind of range.
McGee brings it up. Betts waiting for him. They're going to play through the big man, Preston. McGee, 2 people on him. Back to Porter. He had the open 3 after missing the last 2, maybe a little hesitant. McGee leaves it for Van Zandt. Reverse layup, good.
Yeah, good decision by Van Zandt to do the reverse. He kind of got caught in the mid-range there and think he would have got jammed if he kept it on this side.
Look at Johnson creating the contact, a veteran play from your freshman, able to get the bucket and the foul.
And again, with the interchangeability right now of this lineup, you can take one of your smaller guys and post them up. That time they get the ball down to Johnson in the block. Good strong finish.
Chance to finish the three-point play. Knocks it down. 5 early points for Ben Johnson. That last foul went on Colin Porter. That's 2 on the Flames point guard. McGee using the screen from Preston. Gets the switch on the big man. Now gives it to Vincent. Back to Darius. Pulls up from the top of the key. Couldn't get the roll that time as Suter skies for the rebound. Bellarmine pushing. Suter almost lost the handle. Fortunate to keep it. Going inside, deflected away by McGee. They had the mismatch, but McGee too quick.
Yeah, McGee's been scoring, but...
And now a foul call at the other end as McGee forced the issue. So he'll head to the free throw line on the other side. These offenses both shooting north of 60%. We're at the 8-minute mark here. This isn't a fluke, Naz. These offenses executing at a high level. Liberty leads it by 4 here in this ASUN quarterfinal. Eight minutes to go in the first half of play. Liberty leads Bellarmine 26-22 in this ASUN championship quarterfinal. What's going on in other places around the ASUN? Well, glad you asked. Queens. Now listen, Naz. Liberty fans would be lying if they said they didn't have one eye on that Kennesaw State game, as they, of course, have home court throughout. And they trail early to Queens, 21-14. Eastern Kentucky, a fast start.
Yeah, for sure.
That one kind of going the way you'd expect. And then Lipscomb leading by 4, just over 7 minutes to go against Stetson.
Yeah, that Queens team, you know, we got to see the last 2 games as Liberty finished up with Queens, and they really looked like they were kind of ready to make a run.
What is it people always say? Oh, tournament time, you want those veteran guards. Well, they've got that. Kenny Dye, McKee, those 2 guys can play.
Playing right at the right time, too, so yeah, we're going to keep an eye on that game all night.
Darius McGee goes to the free throw line for a couple. First one rattles out. McGee, 17 points already on the night. All right, Emily Austin over by that Bellarmine huddle, Em.
Yeah, it was assistant coach Doug Davenport saying that he likes what his guys are doing offensively, but we have to work harder to get shots. We're way too slow early. Stay aggressive on the ball.
And they clawed their way right back into it. It was an 11-point lead at one point for the Flames. Bellarmine has cut into that as that one deflected towards us. It'll stay with the Knights. You know, interestingly, Naz, in the first 2 games these teams have played against each other this season, they met in the first conference game at Bellarmine, later in February here in Lynchburg. The Flames never trailed for even a second in either of those games. They were in full control throughout, it seemed. Tonight feels like a little bit different feel to it. You get a Bellarmine team with a whole lot of confidence after what they did one night ago, and in some ways they feel like they're playing with house money at this point.
Yeah, for sure. They've just found a way through injuries and to just grind away, and man, it's a really testament to the coach Davenport, to the kids. Man, we just don't know anything but working hard.
Suter puts it on the deck, pulls up over the freshman Cleveland. That one did everything but go down. Good to see Cleveland back out there after getting popped in the mouth earlier. He's looking for some help. Gets it to Vincent. McKee swings it right back to Vincent. Liberty trying to find some space against this Bellarmine defense. 8 on the shot clock. Vincent going to be forced to hoist a 3, and he knocks it down.
Wow. JV with the smirk after the 3. That was huge.
Just his 5th three-pointer of the season. At the other end, that 3-ball rattles out from Hof. Liberty's lead is 7. Cleveland, a lot of contact, and they get him for an offensive foul. Anytime you lower and dip that shoulder, There's a good chance you're going to hear the whistle, and there's that three a moment ago from Vinzant.
Yeah, Vinzant, he just didn't even think about it, man. He just let that thing fly, and it just really looked nice. Yeah, 3 on Cleveland. That's surprising. He's a big, he plays aggressively.
Suter going downhill. Gets the soft touch off the window for 2.
A little contact. He kind of was almost sideways when he shot that up. Great touch by Suter.
McGee gives it to Kyle Rode. Been a quiet night so far offensively for Rode. Right back to Darius. Warfield, good job sealing off the defender by Preston, allowing Warfield to get to the rim.
Yeah, Warfield took his time. Nice power dribble to the other side. Great find by Darius.
Isaiah Warfield, known for his defense, has been showing a little bit more propensity to score the basketball here of late. That one nearly stolen away, and it is taken away by McGee. On the move, leaves it for Rode, takes it in for his first bucket of the night.
Yeah, they sprung the double team on Suter down there on the block. He did not expect it. Liberty was off and running. Good finish.
And now an offensive foul called on Bellarmine. There's the steal a moment ago, and Darius McGee off to the races. So the Flames lead it by 9. Clock ticking down towards 5 minutes ago here in the first half of play. Rode on the wing, open look, launches off the mark, fight for the rebound, and an offensive foul, or I should say a foul underneath on Hope. They got the Bellarmine big man clearing out Blake Preston.
Yeah, Blake had set up real nice position on the opposite side. And I think it was just when Blake jumped, Hope got under him, and it was a little more obvious once he was up in the air. Coach Davenport really did not like that call. The offensive, not this last one, the one down the other end of the court.
Preston shooting 1-1. Left that one a little short. So Liberty, the free throw line here tonight, 3 of 6 thus far. You think back to yesterday, North Florida, sub 50% from the free throw line. You get into these kind of tight ball games in the postseason, that becomes so critical.
Yeah, you cannot give away free points.
Betts surveying the court. Get it to Tipton. He's checked back in with the 2 fouls. Guarded by Vinzant. Nearly threw that one away.
Great catch by Hatton.
The snag on the pass behind him, deflected, still loose on the deck, and Bellarmine comes away with it. They get a second opportunity, and now they throw it away again. McGee crosses him over, pulls up from 3. Oh my goodness! He's got it all working tonight. McGee with 20. A 7-0 run for the Flames in the last minute of play has turned this into their biggest lead of the night. And stolen away again.
And Zay Warfield, great hands, poked it away.
Corner 3, that misses everything. Ends up hitting off Kyle Rode and will go back to Bellarmine. Darius McGee has 20 of Liberty's 36 points tonight. Already 6 triples for your 3-time ASUN Player of the Year. A 7-0 run from the Flames has Liberty in front, 36-24, just under 4 minutes to go here in half number 1. Well, Liberty, it's fair to say, has had its share of success in the ASUN Championship. A 10-1 record, 3 ASUN titles in 4 seasons. That one loss, though,
that's right.
It was these Bellarmine nights
right on this court
last year in the semifinals. The Flames have been dominant since joining the ASUN, and dominant in this building. And ASUN play in Liberty Arena. The Flames 36-3. This is a tough environment to come into for an opponent.
Yeah, but if anybody's going to handle it, it's this Bellarmine team. I mean, again, they just battle. They're just unfazed by the crowd. It was funny. Last night there was no crowd.
There was no crowd.
This night, big crowd. I mean, they just do their thing. They know who they are. They know they got their system.
You feel like this last 3:54, though, pretty important for them heading to the locker room. They can't let this lead stretch too much more.
That's right. I mean, at least you got to keep it at this distance. Hopefully, if you're Bellarmine, you want to cut into this thing by a few baskets.
Betts gets to the free throw line, cut off. Green now drives and kicks. 12 on the shot clock. Try to beat Johnson in the post. Now they'll get it out to Freeman. Another late shot clock situation. Johnson drives it on McGee, off the window, soft touch.
Yeah, Johnson just really showing his skill set there. Little pump fake, got the eyes up, took it off the dribble, jump stop on balance. I mean, they're just so hard to guard. The way they use their pivot and pump fakes.
And that foul gonna go on Betts. That'll be 10 team fouls, and we'll get Kyle Rowe to the free throw line for a couple.
Yeah, now again, Betts just a great defender. The guy's always hustling. But he's smart enough and experienced enough not to, he played with 4 fouls.
Right.
Yet last night for a big portion of that game.
Rowe knocks down the first. Mentioned Kyle Rowe scoring 22 in the first meeting with Bellarmine this season. It's both free throws to fall. 4 points tonight thus far for the senior out of Lexington, Kentucky. This has been a Bellarmine team that has played in some tight ball games down the stretch of the season. In fact, their last 3 wins have all been by 2 points or less.
Yeah, so, that's way more valuable than whatever their record was. So even if they came out on the losing end of those games like this, when you've been in those heated moments.
Liberty nearly knocked it out of bounds as 2 players fighting for the basketball. Flames come away with a 12-point lead. Darius McGee has been the story. 20 points here in the first half for the Liberty senior. Peebles has it in the corner, gonna try to drive, fades away, and gets it to fall. Pretty touch for Peebles.
Really nice. He wanted that 3 from the corner, but again, he's deceptively quick off the dribble. Nice soft touch.
Peebles have been held scoreless in his last 2 ball games. First time been held scoreless in back-to-back games this season. Now poked away, getting it back and shooting a pretty fadeaway. Garrett Tipton. He has 6 points. All of them coming in that mid-range.
Yeah, really nice job. Concentration to gather. It was poked away, but he gathered it. Nice soft finish.
He cut off momentarily, fires from deep, and it goes.
Goodness.
It is that kind of night for Darius McGee. 23 points.
His elevation and arc, I mean, he's drifting backwards.
7 3-pointers already here in the first half for Darius McGee. Bellarmine looking for an answer. That's spinning. Off the mark, McGee grabs the rebound. Just over a minute to play here in the first half. McGee trying to use a screen from Peebles. Between the legs, now gonna drive, lob, and then Zant for the flush.
Man, Darius kind of lulled everybody to sleep there with the shake and bake. And JV came across the baseline lurking and put it right through with the
Not only does McGee have 23 points, he has 4 assists in the first half. On the other end, it's Johnson with the answer.
Yeah, right in front of us, man. I saw that leave his hand. Looked pretty all the way through the net.
Flames. That shot clock and game clock pretty much identical. Maybe a half-second difference.
Yeah, looks like they're going to run it down and try to get one.
Road with the basketball. See if they can free up McGee here for one last hoist. He's down in the corner right now.
Yeah.
Peebles
too,
screen,
baby.
McGee got loose. 3 ball, up and in. Bets quickly the other way. Throws up one, and that looked like it might go. Came up a bit short, but Darius McGee having one of those nights. 26 points in the first half, 8 3-pointers, 9 of 10 from the field, and 5 assists to go along with it.
Yeah, I mean, and it's overshadowing Bellarmine. They're shooting 59% from the floor.
Yeah, the Flames are shooting 70%. These offenses are clicking.
Yeah.
We check in with 48-31. Liberty leads Bellarmine in this ASUN quarterfinal matchup. Alongside Paul Nazigan, I'm Matt Warner. Naz, Darius McGee, what more can you say? 26 first half points, 8 3-pointers.
Yeah, was really feeling it. You know, his teammates were feeding him. You know, Bellarmine shooting well also, but I think both locker rooms are in there talking about defense. You know, they just know that's such a huge part of conference championship play. You got to be able to stop somebody. This first segment coming out of halftime is going to be huge for Bellarmine. They got to score a little bit too.
All right, let's take a look at some news and notes from around the country while we have a moment. UCLA, Pac-12 regular season champs. Interesting note, Mick Cronin actually called the Bellarmine locker room before their game last night. He's a friend of Scott Davenport. They worked together at Louisville way back when. And so Coach Davenport said, well, you call and talk to the team. He said Coach Cronin let him have it. Whatever he said, it appeared to work last night.
Well, that's just a great story. And you see the other tournaments going on. You know, I cannot confirm or deny that we may have a screen over here that we're watching a little bit of the Sun Belt Conference tournament.
That's right. We may have been checking in from time to time on some other scores going on as well. All right, how about some news from around the ASUN Conference? Awards handed out yesterday. I mentioned Darius McGee, third-time Player of the Year. Brandon Stroud, Defensive Player of the Year.
Yeah, really, and against some other guys there. Jakari Lane, North Alabama, they're going to need him tonight against a really hot EKU team. And then Coach Abdur-Rahim, really nice to see, you know, several years with that group pay off for him this year.
Absolutely. They have really turned things around down there at Kennesaw. All right, when we come back, let's take a look at first half highlights and stats from this one. Liberty leads it by 17 at the break. Halftime in this ASUN quarterfinal. Liberty out in front of Bellarmine, 48-31. Naz, we talked so much about shooting, the offenses, and how good they were in the first half. But, I mean, anytime you get, especially in the postseason, taking care of the basketball is critical. And as we take a look at some of the highlights from thus far tonight, that was an area where Bellarmine needs to tighten things up moving forward.
Yeah, again, every possession counts. Again, with Liberty, they don't play super fast. You're not going to get a lot of them. And not only did Bellarmine turn the ball over 9 times, but it resulted in 14 points for Liberty. Some of those were run-outs. Some of those were sort of bringing up the court, going right into their offense. Darius hit some threes, so those turnovers were really costly.
Yeah, something that is kind of not what we're used to seeing out of Bellarmine, a team that handles it pretty well, but they need to clean that up certainly. Now, Ben Johnson, the highlight offensively for the Knights in the first half, 10 points. That's after scoring 26 last night against UNF.
Yeah, had the hot hand last night, kept it going tonight. A guy who's just multi-versatile, multi-facets to his game. We saw him hit a three. We saw him, take it all the way to the rim. He's got a nice, if he can get to that paint, nice little baby hook.
And then I don't know what you say about Darius McGee other than he was in fuego in the first half. 9 of 11 from the field, 8 of 10 from 3. By the way, 9 threes is the Liberty single game record. He's just one off of that already here tonight.
Yeah, and Bellarmine just doing some different things to try to hold him down. That's all you can do, give him some different looks. But a lot of evenness there in the stat column. Both teams doing a good job on the glass. Again, Liberty, for all of Darius's great shots in the first half, they still have 9 assists. So Liberty playing the way they want to, sharing the ball. Again, Bellarmine's got to defend a little harder, and then they got to get, Ben Johnson needs a little help.
Yeah, he certainly does. Needs some other guys to chip in. Be interesting to see how they come out here at the start of the second half and how they try to slow down Darius McGee. We'll hear from Coach Davenport in just a moment.
Welcome back. Minutes away from tip-off here in the second half between Bellarmine and Liberty, here with head coach Scott Davenport. Coach, this is your 4th game in 7 days. What is your concern level for your team's exhaustion, energy to close out this game?
We could have somehow had Darius McGee kidnapped. I I don't know in my coaching career. Bellarmine, Louisville, high school, very, very high level, VCU. I've never, but our free throw defense was great. How do you make those threes? And Darius McGee missed 2 free throws. This is a crazy game. The only thing we can correct is our turnovers. We defended him as well as you can defend him. Give him credit. Give him credit. But we defended. We have to take care of stronger. Well, I can't turn it over 9 times.
So that was my question. No way to stop Darius McGee, but no other answers in slowing him down or making it more difficult on him in the section.
Illegal. We can't do that.
That's a new one, guys. Kidnapping.
Yeah, we do not endorse that whatsoever. But yeah, I mean, listen, those are strong words.
Yes.
Davenport been around
yes.
this game a long time, and to hear him say he's never seen a player hit some of the shots that he just saw in the first half, that's pretty impressive.
That sure is, Matt. I know you're a baseball guy.
That's right.
What do they do when the pitcher's on a no-hitter, headed for a no-hitter?
You don't talk. You don't look at him. You don't talk to him. You leave him alone.
That's right. That's what they do to Darius McGee over there.
Just stay away. All right, hey, well, we have a moment. Let's take a look at some of the scores from around the ASUN halftime in those other 3 ball games. Queens,
wow,
a 3-point lead. Remember, they won on the road at Kennesaw State a week and a half ago, trying to do it again. Eastern Kentucky a bit lead, and Lipscomb trying to score a slight upset, you'd say, as well, as they're on the road at Stetson, leading by 2. We'll keep an eye on those games throughout the rest of the night. Remember, after this round, it's reseeded.
Yes. Yep.
So it's not a standard bracket that works its way down to the championship. It's all reseeded based on the initial seeding after tonight. So it can all get mixed up a little bit depending on what happens around the league. And if you've been watching the ASUN this year, you know anything can happen. Flames starting out with the basketball. Colin Porter. Left hand, no. Blake Preston couldn't convert the tip in. And Bellarmine comes away with it. You heard Coach Davenport say have to be stronger with the basketball in the second half. Can't give away 9 possessions when you're trailing by 17.
Yeah, because if you do take care of it, Bellarmine, they work the ball around. They're always going to get good shots.
I mean, they're shooting almost 60% in the first half. That 3 ball off the mark. Preston tracks down the rebound. Bellarmine 2 of 7 from downtown tonight. That's one of your things you talked about with him. Can you kind of keep pace in terms of shooting the 3? Right now, that hasn't been the case. Liberty with 9 in the first half. Porter fortunate to get out of trouble there.
Yeah, he got in deep, and the defense just sucked in around him.
Kyle Rode in the paint, leans in, off the window for 2.
Yeah, Kyle, another guy. Maybe they're teaching that down in Kentucky there. He really uses that pivot foot, gets to the paint, jump stop on balance.
They play some basketball in that state.
I think so, just a little bit.
Tipton with Vinzant on him. Puts the shoulder into him, now goes up, left it short, and Vinzant pulls the rebound. 5 rebounds tonight for Joseph Vinzant.
I mentioned Tipton, good skills out on the perimeter, but he's got some strength to back a guy down. That time he gets deep, but just doesn't fall.
Rode a bucket a moment ago, going back to work, gets inside to Vinzant. Now Blake Preston drives and kicks, in on the shot clock. Porter, little shoulder into the bigger Suter, fades away and knocks it down.
Yeah,
how about
gave
the straight?
Suter a little bit of his own medicine. Took the contact.
He's only given up about 8 inches there.
Yeah, but created enough space kind of with that contact to get a really nice shot off him.
Patton gonna put it on the deck. Off the window, too strong, and Porter will come away with it. Liberty scored the first 4 points of the second half. They go into Preston now, and he lost the handle. That bucket a moment ago by Colin Porter, the true freshman. Just 5'9". Not afraid to lean in a little bit. Who's going to step up offensively aside from Ben Johnson? He was great in the first half. He needs some help. That spins right in to Joseph Vinzant, and JV will be called for the foul.
Yeah, get Johnson scoring, Tipton, I think we've seen him be aggressive with his shot. They're going to need some scoring from him. And then Suter.
Johnson has it now. There's Suter, you just mentioned him. Cut off, kick out, Tipton will shoot the three.
Yeah,
they needed that.
They sure did. Again, I really like Tipton's game. I mean, again, he's strong, he can power you, and he can step out. Really nice soft touch from three.
Tipton and Betts, two redshirt seniors. Trying to lead their team to a big upset tonight. They've got some work to do. McGee fading away in the corner. That rattles out. The rebound pulled down by the Knights. You saw last night, they will sprint down court to get into their offense, and then they'll take 25 seconds to get the shot. But the pressure is always on you defensively.
Yes, that is a sign of a good team, a well-coached team.
Suter just leaning in to Kyle Road and gets just enough space to get off the shot.
Yeah, took contact. Good job by Rhodes staying straight up, but tough shot for Suter to finish that one.
Porter backing out, being hounded by Betts.
And now they got Tipton chasing McGee around.
That one nearly picked off. Porter comes away with it, gets in the paint, lays it up and in. Boy, that was just that close to going the other way for two.
Yeah, that ball went up and some arms were swatting at it, but it just squeaked through.
Suter on the wing. That's now going to put it on the deck. Almost lost the handle, got it back, missed the shot. And as you mentioned in the first half, Naz, if you're down to Liberty, especially in the second half, they have no problem walking it up the court, milking that clock, and really shortening the ball game.
Yep, they can play long, deliberate offensive possessions.
Preston missed one from point-blank range.
Yeah, good job by Hatton using his body. His big body against Preston got him off balance just enough to make that shot roll off. Look at Suter.
Spinning, fading away, gets the friendly roll. Peter Suter, his second bucket here in the second half. He's got 8 points.
Yeah, really a solid vibe. I mean, he's like 210. And he can really, he's got quickness out there, but against typical guards, he can really back you down and use his body to get deep.
He doesn't look like a freshman.
Yeah, doesn't play like it either, man. Him and Johnson.
Kyle
They got the trap
passing
on
out of that double team. Porter had that one denied. Blocked by Tipton coming over. It'll stay with the Flames. 9 seconds on the shot clock when we come back. Colin Porter off to a strong start here in the second half. Liberty out in front, 54-38. Liberty out in front of Bellarmine, 54-38. 14:41 to go in this ball game. Well, Colin Porter made the ASUN all-freshman team, 5th in the ASUN in assists, but tonight it's been a little more offensive, Naz.
Yeah, and again, he's ready for this moment because of what we've seen throughout the year. Came in as really a distributor, but worked hard. His teammates had confidence, started making some, I'd call him a little reluctant shooter for a while. But man, late in the season, he just stepped up, just so assertive and confident in his shot, and they've needed him tonight. He's answered the bell.
Remember, he left high school a year early. He should be a senior in high school right now. Instead, he comes in, starts every game at the point guard spot as a true freshman, and leads Liberty to the 2 seed in the ASUN.
Yeah, started and made major contributions.
Robinson had that one halfway down and out. Bellarmine quickly the other way. Landon Hacker in the ball game now for them at one of the guard spots. Johnson drives and has that one stolen away. Great reaction from Rode as he takes it away.
Stepped into the path with the body, got his hand out in the passing lane. Great defense by Kyle Rode right there for the steal.
He cross-court pass to Rode, right back to Darius. Catches, fires, bang! 29 for McGee and his 9th triple that ties the Liberty single game record.
I didn't know there was a record he didn't have.
Well, I mean, he has that one too. He's tying his own at this point. Game against Grambling earlier this year. Bellarmine, not only do you feel like you need to score every time you have the basketball, but then you got to get stops at the other end. Tough task right now as that one left short out of the hand of Betts.
Yeah, and again, they work to get great shots, but at some point, how much time are you running off the clock for all of those?
Tie-up. As Bellarmine was double-teaming Kyle Rowe, the possession arrow will give it back to the Knights.
Yeah, good job by Bellarmine springing the trap there to cause the tie-up.
Known as Liberty shooting to three had kind of been heading the wrong direction of late as they just left Tipton wide open. Forgot all about him, and he knocks in the three. That net that you complained about earlier getting tangled up again. But Liberty in ASUN play, they were 9th in three-point percentage, and it only made the 5th most threes in the league. They've kind of been struggling a bit from beyond the arc. Tonight, 10 of 18. Now, it helps when Darius makes 9 of them. But a very different sight than what we saw late in league play. As once again, you get the freshman guard Colin Porter into the rack.
And he's just seizing the moment. Everybody's so concerned with three-point shooters out there. The lanes are open, and Colin Porter is doing an excellent job of finishing at the rim.
Three ball, well off the mark, out of the hand of Ben Johnson. Liberty leading by 18.
Yeah, they're pulling it out. Again, sort of.
Warfield in the corner, going to drive, now looking for help. Porter, right back to him. Who wants it? Warfield in the paint, takes a shot. They say it's on the floor.
Okay. Yeah, Warfield was kind of spinning back toward the basket, and his defender kind of came down, crashed right into him. So on the ground, good call by the guys in stripes.
Pretty clean second half to this point. Just 2 total fouls. We're almost 8 minutes in. Darius McGee will check out. If you're Richie McKay and it keeps heading this direction, you wonder at what point you start maybe seeing him kind of limit McGee's minutes a little bit down the stretch. Keep him fresh for the next round if the Flames continue to stretch this lead.
Normally you'd think that. I don't know. Maybe against anybody but Bellarmine. These guys just...
One on the shot clock. Peebles throws it up. Left it short. Fighting for that rebound is Cleveland, and the Flames come away with it.
Great effort.
Warfield has it in the corner. The shot clock resets. Warfield takes it to the rim for 2.
Wow. Zach Cleveland kept that thing alive. Zay Warfield ran it down and then made a really nice move to the basket for the finish.
Tipton at the other end, off the mark.
Something we've talked about, Matt. You know, guys like Warfield and Denzan, they've got great handles and a great first step. So you don't have to be a great three-point shooter. And that time, Zay just does a really nice job taking it to the rim.
Porter left it short. Suter comes away with it. Back to Tipton on the wing. Missed that 3 a moment ago. Kicks it back out. Bellarmine team needing to go on a run. Still 11 minutes to go.
Yeah, he's going to need help.
Need to climb back into it here in the next few minutes. Johnson frees himself. Missed that one long. And you wonder, too, you heard Emily talk earlier about this grind that it's been lately for Bellarmine. They were in a battle for 40 minutes last night. Do you start seeing the legs go a little bit down the stretch?
Because of the injuries and the guys they've lost for the season, Matt, you're right. The guys not only in this last night in this game, but over the course of that last half of the season, guys have played a lot of minutes. They may be catching up with them.
Isaiah Warfield, the hustle play, the lay-in, and the Flames lead it by 20 with just under 11 minutes to go in this quarterfinal matchup. Well, technically, we're still in the month of February. I'm calling it, Naz. March Madness is here.
That's right. One conference tournament starts in March.
That's right. And it continues throughout the week. We take a look at the ASUN bracket. Right now, 4 games going on. The quarterfinals being played as we speak. And then moving forward, they will reseed after tonight. And we'll see how that all shakes out. Let's take a look at some of those scores around the conference. And it's 2 tight games. The only one that's not right now is Eastern Kentucky, well out in front of North Alabama. The other 2, very tight. We'll keep an eye on those here throughout the night. So Colin Porter heads to the free throw line. Gets the first to fall. Points on the night for Porter. Second free throw also up and good. The true freshman, kid from Ashland, Kentucky, having a great performance here tonight in his first ASUN tournament game. The other end, Freeman, that one poked free and another turnover.
Man, Liberty's hands tonight, they've just had active hands. Even guys in the help side when drives have come their way.
11 turnovers for Bellarmine tonight. Brody Peebles going to put it on the deck, cut off. Dangerous pass handled by Warfield. 8 on the shot clock.
Got time.
Porter looks up, sees the clock. High arcing shot, left it well short. And the Flames come away empty. So a good defensive stand, but talked about less than 10 minutes to go. You got to start stringing some stops together if you're Bellarmine.
Yeah, you got to get some stops, and you got to, good hustle by Shiloh Robinson to run that down.
Chases it down, Warfield sprinting and throws it down.
Great hustle by Warfield, and Shiloh Robinson was patient. Nice little wraparound pass. That was right on the money.
Oh, look at the denial. Brody Peebles.
The shot blocker. Great hustle by Brody Peebles. Timed that thing perfectly.
We have seen some crazy shots tonight. That is the most ridiculous thing we have seen this evening. Was Peebles rising up for the block. Now they get it to him on the other end. Nearly lost the handle. They'll swing it with 8 on the shot clock.
Gotta go get one now.
Robinson left alone for 3. That's pure. First points of the night for Shiloh Robinson. And Liberty is putting it on him now. An 11-0 run over the last 4 minutes. And they get another stop. The Flames gonna walk it up the court.
Yeah, now they'll be very deliberate on offense. Unless there's something really wide open early, they'll run this thing down and make some long offensive possessions. There's a double.
Cleveland, double team comes and a foul call. I think they're going to get Suter. How about that steal?
Yeah.
Shiloh Robinson a moment ago.
Yeah, and a great job not to try to shoot it yourself. Just collect it. Good hustle by the trailing Warfield.
There's the shot.
I'm telling you, you got to play defense.
We've certainly seen Peebles grow in that area in his second season as a Flame.
Certainly came in as a scorer and a shooter, but it's going to be, you wear a Liberty jersey, you got to be able to play D in that pack line system.
McGee checks back in, rises up, misses the 3. Bellarmine quickly the other way. McGee with 29 points tonight, and as we mentioned earlier, has tied the Liberty single game record with 9 threes. Well, you wouldn't know from the scoreboard, or you wouldn't, the way Liberty's playing defense right now is their Suter creating that contact. So strong on the drive, and just shoved Vincent right out of the way.
Yet again, he avoids fouls because he uses his body, not his arms. He can just kind of ride that defender on his hip, get deep, and nice finish by Suter.
Cleveland kicks, wide open, McGee. Off the mark, offensive rebound for Vincent.
All year, Vincent has been the glass man.
Cleveland to the corner. Peebles thought about it. Now we'll kick it, deflected out to Robinson. He'll try the 3 ball. That's off the mark. Bellarmine. Boy, how about that take? Kurt Hoff had an open lane for a moment. It closed quickly, but the acrobatic shot goes down. 7 minutes to go. 2-seed Liberty Flames trying to close this one out and advance to the semifinals and move their overall ASUN conference record, or championship record, I should say, to 11-1. Crowd trying to urge the Flames on down the home stretch. Free ball from Hacker. That misses everything. And he's going to hear about it. That'll get us to a timeout. All Flames thus far. They lead it 68-45. This presentation of college basketball is brought to you by Foster Fuels. Turn up the heat. And by Carter Bank and Trust, member FDIC. Liberty fans have enjoyed this one. All Flames tonight. They're 6:31 away from moving on to the ASUN semifinals. Their opponent, well, that's still to be determined.
Yeah.
There's some tight games going on around the conference.
Yeah, other than that EKU North Alabama
Still
game,
a lot up for grabs.
they're all going to go down to the wire. Again, Liberty's playing a little more slow, a little more deliberate, but you can't take yourself out of your offensive flow.
Lob into Preston, strong take. He has had a hard time getting those to go down. He will get himself to the free throw line for a couple. Preston tonight, 4 points to go along with 4 rebounds. Leaving those a little short here from the line tonight.
Come on, big fella. Put those legs into it.
We talked to Blake before the game. You know, he shaved the beard.
Yeah.
He said, you know, new season.
New look, new season.
New look. As that one rims off. He said he's going to let it go now, so he's hoping, you know, playoff beard style, that by the time he has to shave, it's a lot longer than it was when he got rid of it in the first place. Johnson on the wing, looking into the post.
He's got to hit those free throws. He'll start doing hack-a-plate.
That's right. DeVault just checked in. Couldn't convert on the little baby hook. The Flames will come away with it. How about that from McGee? Between the legs, leaves it for Rode, walks into a three, splashes it home.
Man, right in front of us, man, you can just see that was beautiful, pure, right as it left his hand.
6th assist of the night for McGee to go along with the 29 points. Hof into the chest of Preston, trying to work around him. Now kick it out. 10 on the shot clock. Suter trying to create his own offense. Corner three coming for Betts. That's too strong. After a hot shooting first half, Bellarmine shooting it just at a 31% clip here in the second half. You heard Richie McKay say heading to the locker room, we've got to tighten some things up on the defensive end. They've done it. McGee, 3-ball. He's been cool here in half number 2. 26 first half points, just 3 since halftime. Hasn't mattered. His teammates have really picked him up.
You know, man, we talked a little bit about that in the first half. Oh, good hustle by Justin Betts.
A 3 from the wing. Off the mark. Peebles will pull the board.
Mentioned 4 games in 7
days. And that's stolen away. Flames may have a comfortable lead. I can tell you that will not make Richie McKay very happy, even at this stage of the game.
You mentioned, you know, 4 games in 7 days for Bellarmine. They've been short-handed, like almost halfway through the season. Guys have logged a lot of minutes. I think the legs have kind of caught up with them.
That one thrown away. Another turnover, the 10th of the night for Liberty. Liberty will get Porter back in the ball game. Yeah, you think about the injuries that you talked about, and you have a mix of some veterans, and Justin Betts is as veteran as you can get. 6th year, tipped in the same way, and then a lot of young guys. And now some of them, as we've seen, have really risen to the occasion. Johnson, Suter certainly.
Yeah, Hatton, young guys. Yeah. Again, so there's his interior presence moving forward. They got pieces to build on.
Freed, another senior, lays that one in. But it appears that the careers of Betts and Tipton going to come to a close here tonight. And you talk about a couple of They're great basketball players, yes, but these are the kind of kids everyone wants in their program.
Absolutely.
The right kind of guys that play the right kind of way. But it looks like they're going to come up on the wrong side of it tonight. We'll step aside with 3:26 remaining. Liberty looking to close out the final 3:26 to this one. Move on to the ASUN semifinals. Take a look at some of the other scores. Those other quarterfinal matchups. Boy, a good one between Queens and Kennesaw State.
Oh my
Queens, the 9 seed, leading by 3 with under 10 to go. Eastern Kentucky salting that away.
Yeah,
and
they have righted the ship there at EKU.
Boy, Stetson and Lipscomb in a tight one. 24 points for Jalen Blackman tonight as he has led the way for the Hatters. All right, let's check in one last time with Emily Austin. Emily?
Yeah, guys, it's not looking good for the Knights tonight, but when you think about the injuries and the surgeries, it's really been an incredible season for Bellarmine. Coach Scott Davenport said that his players have not complained once and has made the most of every moment. That attitude really starts from the top. You mentioned that Betts and Tipton will not be returning next year because their eligibility is up. Now the speculation rises that this will be the final year for Scott Davenport leading this program. Nothing is official yet, but back in May, his son and assistant coach Doug Davenport was named the coach in waiting. Regardless of when Scott hangs it up, the impact he's had on this game is just indescribable.
Yeah, great guy. We've enjoyed getting to know him the last couple of years. Oh my, Vincent nearly brought the house down on that alley-oop attempt. Fouled in the process. Scott Davenport just done a fantastic job. How about the way they started their season, Naz?
Yeah,
go back to
Louisville.
Beating Louisville, running that city with a win like that. You saw that the last season winning the ASUN championship, and because of that joke of an NCAA rule that with the transition, they weren't allowed to go to the NCAA tournament. Just the incredible job he's done. This team going from a D2 power, and they jump in the ASUN and do not miss a beat.
Yeah, that's a true program right there. So whenever Coach Davenport Sr. decides to hang it up, he's leaving it in good hands. You can see the pieces, the players that are getting ready to kind of take over new roles. And yeah, seeing guys like Betts, man, just an absolute class act warrior.
Liberty moving on to the Conference USA next season, but I know, Naz, you and I will certainly be keeping an eye on the Knights and see what becomes of this program moving forward. That's a foul inside. A couple of free throws coming Bellarmine's way. Frame to the line for 2. Frame and Betts, part of the ASUN all-academic team. You know, that we talk about all the awards and things that kind of can get lost sometimes. Want to mention that, and also mention Kyle Rode, the ASUN Scholar Athlete of the Year. An impressive honor for an impressive young man on that Liberty side.
Yeah, and second team all-conference Road as well.
Yeah. So under 3 to go here. Again, in this ASUN championship, you reseed after the quarterfinal round. So we'll have to wait for the finals of those other games as Peebles has the 3 rattle out to see exactly who Liberty will play moving forward. We know it will be here in Lynchburg on Thursday night. As that shot off the mark, Cleveland pulls another rebound. He has 8 rebounds tonight. The freshman really contributing on the glass.
Yeah, and he got into foul trouble. 3 fouls early, took a shot in the mouth. Still came out here, collected 8 rebounds. Man, he just plays so hard, plays aggressively all the time.
Porter being hounded, kicks it out. They swing it to Peebles. Thought about the 3, gives it to Robinson. Right back to Brody. Great cut, even better find, and Peebles lays it in for 2.
For sure, no standing around, man. Great little 2-man game there between Shiloh Robinson and Brody Peebles.
Even with the score what it is, as that one goes down for Freem. Bellarmine team still running their offense, still doing what they do. There's no quit for this program, and
yeah, that's just part of who they are, and you got to just tip your cap to them. Nothing but respect.
Richie McKay calling a timeout now to empty out his bench. Round of applause from the home crowd. Gabriel McKay checks in, Steven Berggraf as well. And we'll step aside. 1:18 to go. Liberty Flames about to move on to the ASUN semifinals. Liberty Flames have shot 56% from the field tonight, 44% from three-point range, as they took control of this one early on. All right, some of those other scores around the ASUN. Kennesaw State and Queens tied up. If Kennesaw wins that ball game, Liberty will be playing Eastern Kentucky here Thursday night. So that's the one Flames fans are watching, and no doubt the phones will be coming out as soon as this one goes final. They'll watch the last few minutes of that one. So that will determine what ends up happening on Thursday night here in Lynchburg. Steven Berggraf kicks it to the corner. McKay the three, a little strong. As we're under a minute to go in this ball game. Flames going to beat Bellarmine for the third time this season. Not an easy task to beat any quality team 3 times. But Liberty was locked in tonight. Darius McGee lit the fuse with 26 first half points. And the Flames just got out and rolled the rest of the way. Berggraf behind the back dribble. Kicks to the corner. Jonathan Jackson for the three. And this crowd gets to erupt one last time. On the other end, Sam DeVault gets one to fall. His first points of the postseason. The Flames finish, Naz, with 13 three-pointers tonight. They came alive from beyond the arc. And offensively, they just took it to another level this evening.
They did, but defensively, they never let Bellarmine shooters get going. It was just sort of sporadic all night long. They never let them make a run. Great Liberty defense.
So a 20-point Liberty win. Oh, by the way, in 9 ASUN home games this year, Liberty has won them all by an average of 22 points per game. So this one certainly fits right in line with the rest of them. Flames have been dominant on their home floor this season, and that continues as they're going to move on to the ASUN semifinals. They have never not reached at least the semifinal round in 5 years now, playing in the ASUN championship. And so now they'll await their opponent, see how things sort themselves out.
Yeah, I mean, the stakes get higher, the competition gets tougher, and you know, whoever comes in here, well, if you scores hold, and it's Eastern Kentucky, I mean, they're great. They're really they're a high-powered offensive team that likes to get after you, trap and press and shoot gaps defensively. So it should really be a great game.
Yeah, you think about that. Liberty lost on the road to EKU early in the year. Ended up beating them here in Lynchburg in what was a hard-fought game. Liberty ended up winning by 10. And that may well be their opponent. We'll see again how that Kennesaw State game sorts itself out. The final minutes of that one, they're still knotted up with 6 minutes to play there in Kennesaw, Georgia. Yep. So the Flames come away with a dominant win tonight. And Emily Austin standing by with the star of the show, Darius McGee.
Yeah, that's an understatement. Darius, you were named the ASUN Player of the Year for the 3rd straight year, so you're like, okay, let me prove it. 29, tying your program record for threes in a game. You'll never believe what Coach McKay, I asked him about this at halftime. Give me one guess about what he said.
Probably I've been watching his tapes or something like that.
I actually admitted that you don't have a VCR to watch them, but 3-time ASUN Player of the Year, what does that award mean to you?
I mean, it's a lot of hard work, a lot of longer hours with my teammates. Like, we play together so well. Like, a lot of credit goes to them. Like, I don't get open unless those guys that we're working together, they pass up a lot of shots. We got a lot of talented guys who can score the ball very efficiently, and it's just a bunch of guys sacrificing for one another. So.
I know everyone in this Liberty program has looked and searched high and low for a way for you to come back next season. It can't happen. So how different does this tournament feel for you this time around?
Obviously, last year we had a disappointing season, so well, in our opinion. So we have that experience, we have that taste in our mouth just from last year. So I think guys are a little bit more poised at this time of the year. Guys are very much more disciplined. We just feel way more connected as a group than we did last year. So
awesome, excited to see you guys take on. We'll see in the semifinals. Congratulations on your game.
Appreciate you, Emily.
See ya.
Our thanks to Darius. Let's take a look at the bracket as it stands right now. So Liberty moves on. We know Eastern Kentucky is moving on after their dominant win tonight over North Alabama. And we await the finals of a couple of tight ones between Queens and Kennesaw State and Stetson and Lipscomb. Right now, Lipscomb trying to pull away in that one. Just over 3 minutes to go in that ball game. So still a lot to be decided. What we do know, Naz, we'll be back here Thursday night for what should be a great game no matter who the opponent is. When you get to this time of the season,
everybody's good.
Everybody's good. We look forward to that one Thursday night at 7 o'clock. So for Paul Nazigan and Emily Austin, I'm Matt Warner saying so long from Lynchburg, Virginia, where once again the final score is Liberty 76, Bellarmine 56. Remember, all games airing on the ESPN networks are streaming live and archived on the ESPN app. This has been a presentation of ESPN.